Coming up on Hunter News Now, Hunter College students take a stand for gun control by participating in the National Walkout Day exactly a month after the shooting in Parkland, Florida.
And CUNY students are protesting proposal to take away students' control of activity fees.
And it's a 20th anniversary for this iconic play that's staged right here at Hunter College every spring. All that and more in this edition of Hunter News Now.
Welcome to Hunter News Now. I'm Alexandra Alley.
And I'm Harrison Sari.
CUNY students are taking to the streets again to protest, this time to stop a proposal about student activity fees. Full-time students pay a student activity fee ranging from $60 to $180 per semester. And now the CUNY Board of Trustees wants to change how those fees are allocated. Caitlin Munson has more on how CUNY students are sticking together on the fees, tuition, and higher wages for adjuncts.
CUNY students made their feelings known as they rallied outside the CUNY Board of Trustees meeting at Brooklyn College campus 2 weeks ago. They are protesting a lack of funding, poor facility conditions, and that proposal to remove their control over student activity fees. Charles, a senior from CUNY City Tech, plans to speak out against the proposal and defend what's rightfully his.
Foundationally, the student activity fee belongs to us. We created it. We control how much we pay of it. But unfortunately, the Board of Trustees do not agree with the way the student activity fees have been functioning for years now.
Student activity fees generate funds for everything from campus media clubs, daycare centers, and health centers. CUNY's trustees want authority over the fees transferred to the board, run mostly by the administration and faculty. CUNY's General Counsel Loretta Martinez introduced the proposal, which she says will redefine student activity fees at all 25 colleges in the university system. When police stopped students from entering the building where the proposal was being discussed due to a lack of space, protesters chanted even louder. Carlos Jesus Casadilla-Palcino, president and founder of a student group, Young Persons of America, says he wants the trustees to feel the pressure.
And right now we need, like I said, our demand, $7K for adjuncts, continue to have the student activity fees in the power of the students, not to take that away, and to have a democratic CUNY Board of Trustees, not an appointed one by the governor.
Students are also complaining about CUNY's tuition, which is up by 9% this year. Tanika Welsh, a junior at CUNY City Tech, believes that the trustees need to look at this from a student's perspective.
Oh, how would you take this funding away from us? Just like tuition. You guys raise it up every day, but do you sit down in the schools to see what the raise of tuition is doing to the students? No, so this is why I'm here, to show them and tell them, like, listen, stop doing these things.
Students are spreading the word by wearing t-shirts and pins, like this one. If anyone is interested in joining the next rally, the upcoming one will be held right here at Brooklyn College, April 30th at 4:30. Caitlin Munson, Hunter News Now.
Another protest right here on Hunter's campus. About 80 people joined the nationwide walkout on March 14th at 10 a.m. to protest gun violence and remember the students who were killed in Parkland, Florida. Students outside the West Building held signs with the victims' names and demanded change.
Gun control. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Gun control.
We all need to take action. You know, we need to make a statement, and I know that we can't really make policy change, but we can show those with the power that we need to make a difference and make sure that this doesn't happen again.
When do we want it? Now. What do we want?
I shouldn't have to worry about somebody having an authorized or unauthorized gun, perhaps being mentally unstable, using that gun. I shouldn't have to fear leaving my house every day.
Gun control. When do we want it?
Please stop the death. Please stop the violence in our schools. School is a safe place, and it's becoming a scary place.
Guns. No more guns. No more guns. No more guns.
It could have been our friend killed. It could have been us killed. So we believe that as students, we need to basically just learn about all these things that are happening in the world right now and take action, because we're going to be voting this year and we have the power to make changes.
According to Axios, just last weekend, more than 1.7 million people took to the streets in nearly 800 March for Our Lives events in all 50 states to protest gun violence.
And turning back to campus, we have a story for you about some very mature students at Hunter. Every semester, the college welcomes more than 500 lifelong learners to audit classes on campus. These senior auditors have to be at least 60 years old and New York State residents. But the college is now enforcing another requirement. Senior learners have to take all prerequisites to enroll in a course, even if they have taken that prereq in the past. Crystal Rand has more on how seniors, faculty, and students feel about these prereqs and integrational learning.
Meet Harry B. Miller. He is 94 years old and back at it, right here at Hunter College studying to be an actor. He is currently taking 3 classes in the theater, music, and dance departments.
I find that the classes I've been taking and the professors I've been studying under very, very nice to us.
As a former set designer for the Jackie Gleason show, Harry was always interested in the arts and took many dance and theater classes.
Of my Annie Hall.
But to enroll in upper-level dance courses, he had to retake an introductory ballet class.
I absolutely almost... It is necessary. You have to keep up with things that are going on.
Professors like David Alm say enforcing the prereq rule benefits the seniors and their younger classmates.
The fact that if you took a media course 25 years ago, you're not likely to be as aware of the current landscape as people who just took a prereq like 180 last semester.
Many students agree, saying the rule helps prepare auditors to contribute to class discussions.
I would say most of the auditors in my class, they were very involved in my class. They were mostly in my history classes. They would participate a lot. They would ask the professors questions, and then they would do the readings from what I've noticed.
Although they are not assigned homework and tests, auditors say they try to blend in with the younger students in their classes. After their classes, these lifelong learners often come back to the Senior Citizen Lounge. This is where they come to eat free snacks, talk to other auditors, and wait for their classes. Crystal Rand, Hunter News Now.
Coming up on Hunter News Now, if you've never heard of the Fulbright, Rhodes, Marshall, and Luce, you need to stay tuned. We have the head of Hunter's prestigious scholarships and fellowships program, Dr. Stephen Lassonde, here to talk about how you can apply.
And Hunter's first ever recipient of the Rhodes Scholarship, Tamara Jean, stops in as well.
It's all coming up when we return on Hunter News Now. Hunter College produces the most Fulbright scholars in the CUNY system. In fact, this year, 3 students have received the award so far, and in 2017, a record 8 students were offered the merit-based grants to study abroad.
That makes Hunter one of the top producers of Fulbright Award winners in the nation. Recipients of this prestigious scholarship can travel to Italy, Germany, South Korea, and many other destinations to further their academic studies. In the last year, Hunter has also produced a Luce Scholar, its first Marshall Scholar, and its first Rhodes Scholar.
Well, one of those star scholars, Tamara Jean, is here. She won the Rhodes Scholarship and will soon be studying political theory at Oxford.
Also joining us is the director of the Office of Prestigious Scholarships and Fellowships here at Hunter College, Dr. Stephen Lassonde. Tamara, thank you both for being here. Tamara, congratulations on your Rhodes Scholarship. That's very prestigious. I wanted to know, what drew you to the Rhodes Scholarship specifically?
So the Rhodes definitely has its own legacy that it carries. When you think about the Rhodes, you automatically think about people like Bill Clinton and Cory Booker and Rachel Maddow. So it was something I always knew about, but not necessarily a conversation that I put myself into. And it wasn't until I met Stephen and we started talking about the possibilities that I had, knowing that I was on a PhD track, the opportunities it could open up for me if I took the chance and applied.
Dr. Lassonde, what makes Hunter have an enormous amount of students getting scholarships and fellowships?
We have a deep pool of talent here, and many students like Tamara, and before her Faisal last year, get to work with faculty early on in their time, and they start cultivating the talent that they see in their classrooms. And then they learn through their mentorship what it means to get a PhD and how to do it, and they kind of lay out the path for them, and then I get introduced to them during the process and then start bringing them along. I'm someone to really encourage them at the end. Most of the work has gone into them already through our faculty who are so engaged with our students here.
Right. So when you speak about a deep pool of talent, especially after Tamara and the large publicity that you've received after becoming Hunter's first Rhodes Scholar, have you noticed an increase in any applications for prestigious scholarships?
Last year to this year, there's a small uptick, and I'm expecting more after Tamara's triumph here this last year, and the publicity that she's gotten. I think her appearance with Bill Gates in an interview went very far in that direction, and so I expect to see more and more students in the coming months as we head toward the next cycle.
Great, great.
Tamara, can you tell us a little bit about what you'll be studying at Oxford?
Sure. So here at Hunter, I was a political science major, and I mostly focus on African American political theory, and I'll be continuing that at Oxford and studying political theory.
Dr. Lassonde, I wanted to know, what should students do if they wish to follow in the footsteps of Tamara and become maybe Hunter's second or third or fourth Rhodes Scholar, or any scholarship for that matter?
First of all, you have to be a serious scholar, and that's the first thing you need to do. And again, work closely with faculty. But then I offer workshops on writing fellowship personal statements, which can be very helpful, and to help you think about what your goals are, and both academically but personally, and help you develop the last few years that you're here at Hunter.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. And Tamara, congratulations again on your achievements. And we know we'll be seeing a lot from you in the future.
Coming up on Hunter News Now, you've seen those posters of the vagina monologues around campus. Now see what the director of the show has to say.
And you'll meet our Scholar Athlete of the Week. That and more when we return.
Welcome back. The Acapella group, known as Acapella, just held its first spring concert. Was founded in 2012 and sings mostly contemporary music. It also recorded its first single called Let It Go on Spotify.
2018 marks the 20th anniversary of the iconic play, The Vagina Monologues. And to celebrate this milestone, Hunter once again staged its own production of the play that launched the VDay movement to end violence against all women and girls. Director Vanessa Velasquez says the play's message is more relevant than ever.
And it's a movement begun by Eve Ensler with the Vagina Monologues and Other Stories.
Velasquez says the play is a call to action for everyone, including men.
And about 1/3 of women still experience sexual harassment, according to a survey by Morning Consult. But thanks to the hashtag #MeToo movement, awareness is rising. The phrase hashtag #MeToo was actually first coined in 2006 by civil rights activist and Bronx native Tarana Burke, and then it went viral when film producer Harvey Weinstein was accused of predatory behavior against women in Hollywood. Naisha Pete has more on what hashtag #MeToo means to students on this campus in this edition of Hunter Students Speak.
I would think powerful, empowering, overdue.
Of sexual assault or violence or harassment.
But also men, especially given the fact that there is this strong stigma that men don't get sexually assaulted.
Yeah,
I know that
I feel like the hashtag encourages change in our society because it gives people an opportunity to actually address the issue.
Directly after that one hashtag, but just more and more people just started coming up about injustices that was going on because of people with power just abusing their authority to other people.
And I saw so many Me Too hashtags that day and just weeks following, which was really pretty sad to me.
I think, although, we don't talk about sexual assault against women a lot, and we definitely don't talk about sexual assault against men.
Like, you don't have to live continually with that burden.
I'm hoping that this hashtag doesn't only allow women to be seen, but also men, especially given the fact that there is this strong stigma that men don't get sexually assaulted, that if they do get sexually assaulted in some way, shape, or form, they shouldn't speak about it.
Men do get sexually assaulted. I actually know two guys. One person who is a guy and he has been sexually assaulted.
But I think that it's incredibly important for allowing men to speak out and just allowing other people to see that it's a universal issue. It's not a women issue. This is not a feminist thing. This is everyone's problem.
But also things like this, like using social media activism, has helped to encourage these big conversations that are changing institutions.
Cliche as this may sound, sexual assault, don't do it.
Hunter's men's tennis team is back on the courts, winning its first match of the season against York College. Last year, the team made it all the way to second place, just missing out on the CUNYAC championship in a tough match against Baruch. Just last week, I caught up with the team during one of their final preseason practices and asked them what they're expecting and hoping for this season. The boys did make it all the way to the championship, but head coach Ed Metzendorf believes the Hawks can do even better.
Last season was all right. You know, we came in second in our league. We were a little disappointed. Baruch beat us in the finals. This year, we're really looking to take revenge on that. We have higher aspirations in terms of really running the table and trying to win all our matches this year.
While the Hawks work on winning all their matches, team captain Nasser Ghaffar is looking to hone his skills as a power player and apply it as a conference player. Last season, out of 16 teams, CUNYAC awarded Ghaffar with the title of Rookie of the Year.
In conference play in CUNY, there's fair competition, but when playing in matches, you just have to stay consistent, really. And I'm just more of an aggressive player, so when it comes to conference play, like, you just want to stay in the point until the other person misses.
A new face on the team is freshman Redondo Jaramon, an 18-year-old Brooklyn native who has been playing tennis for 8 years now. Jaramon shares a similar sentiment with Coach Metzendorf when it comes to what he would like to do as a new addition to the team.
We want to beat Baruch. They beat us the last 2 years, and we're hoping to get a comeback from them because they're usually the team that pushes us around, so trying to give a little back to them.
Hunter may finally get that coveted first place over Baruch at the end of the season on April 25th. Harrison Sari, Hunter News Now.
And sticking with sports, the number 4 ranked men's basketball team ended an exciting season with a loss to John Jay in the CUNYAC quarterfinals. Senior Amer Lukac led the team in his final game, scoring 22 points. Christina Williams has more on Lukac's passion for basketball and his teammates in this profile of our Scholar Athlete of the Week.
I discovered my love for basketball around middle school. A men's basketball coach saw that I was pretty tall, tallest in my class, and he asked me to play. Then in high school, I made a team, started to love basketball, and then got recruited to Hunter College. My name is Amir Lukac. I am a psychology major, and I am the captain of the men's basketball team. As a student athlete, there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it. A lot of times your friends get mad at you because, you know, you can't see them for weeks. And when I'm on the court, that's all I think about is basketball. I love it. I know it's not going to last forever. My sister inspires me. Growing up, she was the basketball player of the family. She would come home with the trophies. I think she really gave me that competitive edge that I have, like, all throughout my life.
All right, so just like we said last time, Amir, you beat it over here.
The player-coach relationship is really important to me because in order for any team to be successful, the coaches and the players have to be on the same page. You know, when a coach comes into a program, he implements his ideas and his methods, and it's up to the players to really trust in that. From freshman year not playing to senior year being the captain, I feel accomplished. However, I'm not satisfied. It's almost 20 years since this program has won a conference championship.
We're all in it together and we're cheering each other on. So we get a back tip and everybody explodes.
These group of guys can overcome that. The brotherhood on the team is special. Not just on the court. Off the court, we're always together. I see them more than I see my own family. There's going to be a lot of times in this season when we're down a certain number of points and we're not playing to the best of our ability. So it's really my job to make sure that nobody's really down about that and that we still keep the intensity going.
Top left corner, look. Last time we won in '98. 20 years. Come on, y'all. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Coming up on Hunter News Now, Hunter students speak about, let's just say, the facilities here on campus.
And do you have plans for spring break? We'll tell you what your peers are up to. All that and more when we return.
Students at Hunter College have strong opinions about all sorts of issues on and off campus, but this week our reporter Victor Tiburcio got an earful about the state of our restrooms in this edition of Hunter Students Speak.
The state of Hunter College bathrooms, in one sentence for me, I'd say they are as interesting as they are smelly.
Mediocre. I would describe them as being unattended.
Yeah.
But I know that
the bathrooms are maybe a 4.5 on a scale of 1 to 10.
There's a lot of locks on the doors that maybe don't work properly or are non-existent. And what they do, though, is put a fresh new canvas for the artist every semester. You know what I mean? Fresh coat of paint. So
I guess sometimes when one of the urinals just doesn't stop flushing and it just keeps going and going and going, that's a little bit surreal.
I do believe the custodians work very hard to keep it clean, but I feel like the student body just doesn't care at all. Being completely frank.
I don't think that it's the student's fault, and I don't think that it's the janitor's fault, no.
I feel that they kind of have a notion that someone's going to clean it up after them, which is kind of a little bit childish, you know. It's you know, we're all 18 up, or whichever age. We're all becoming adults. We're all adults. We have to really just care about the space we're in, you know.
I don't see students messing up. I've never actually seen a student deliberately mess up a bathroom.
you see stuff written on like the walls in the bathroom stalls, and it's like sometimes it's a dialogue, other times it's a poll, sometimes it's like it's really just a statement of someone's ideas.
The message that I would be is very simple. Maybe send out an email to all, you know, have a USG or Hunter blast going to every student explaining how it's very important that we keep our space clean.
Finally, spring break is in the air and our spring break is just around the corner. The official dates are March 30th to April 8th.
And students are definitely looking forward to the break. Our Hunter News Now reporter Cesar Perez caught up with some of them on the Sky Bridge to find out what they've planned.
For spring break, I'm using the time off to get some more hours at work, get some more money, so hopefully I can go somewhere cute for the summer. Also just catching up on homework. Nothing too crazy, but something that will benefit me.
I'm going to California to perform for a gig, and then coming back to go to Philly to perform for the Sixers versus Dallas during halftime. I dance Bollywood, so you could definitely check me out there.
I'm actually planning to go to Austin with my sister and my couple of cousins who live in Dallas. So I'm going to go fly down to Dallas, and from there we're going to take a road trip to Austin.
For spring break, I plan to work because it's the end of tax season and I'm doing a tax internship. So I'm going to work like maybe 60 hours for spring break. Going to do nothing special, work.
Harris, you got any plans for spring break?
Alexandra, I'm going to stay in my apartment throughout all of spring break and plan the next edition of Hunter News Now.
Sounds good.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Hunter News Now. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you for the next one on April 25th.
From all of us here at Hunter News Now, thank you for joining us and have a happy spring break.